Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to play with some fun new makeup and we're trying this out. This is the new NATASHA DENONA Glam Face Palette and this is in light and I also got the deep one. These are already sold out online. They came out today and they're already sold out. When I went to purchase them, they were sold out. So I Googled and saw if there were any left over at my local Sephora. So I drove about like 35-40 minutes for a Sephora that had them in stock and I got them here. I initially wanted to only get the light because I thought deep, you know, it's probably going to be pretty deep for me, but I really liked like a couple of the shades in here and I was like, I may be able to pull that off. So if you guys are interested to see swatching, I'm going to do like one face with the light, one face with the dark. Continue watching. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe down below and you can grab something to drink. I have my water. I don't know if you can tell. I lost my voice today and alcohol makes my wrist inflamed. I have some issues with my wrist and so I've been trying to be very careful with what I put in my body because anything gives me inflammation. It makes my wrist hurt to the point where I can't work. So that's not good. Anyway, let's get into this makeup. So when I saw a sneak peek of this, I was so excited. I love that concept. I love a face palette, but with also some eyeshadows here. So this is a blush, highlighter, and 5 eyeshadows. And that's the light one, and this is the deep one. Let me put them side by side so you guys can see. So it's similar tones. It's just like this one's a little bit lighter, and this is obviously a little bit deeper. But I think I can pull both of them off. I don't know about the highlighter in the deeper one. I think this one's going to be a little bit dark for me, but I could use the highlighter as an eyeshadow if I really wanted to. So, okay, I am very excited because the tones of the blushes seem amazing. And just overall, they're just neutral, like they're brownie neutral colors. And I think they're good for kind of every day, which I really like. So the way I'm gonna start with the blushes. So I want to swatch them next to each other. So the formula seems to be that creamy formula that she has in this one right here in the Bloom, which I love this one so much. It's definitely used well. It reminds me of this formula right here where it has that creaminess, but it seems a little bit more powdery. This one right here, but I bet over time it's going to become more like this. This was probably the same in the beginning, but I really like that formula so much. So I'm going to swatch this right here. So that is from the light palette. This is the blush and it looks beautiful. It has more pink when you swatch it. In the pan, I mean, it looks pink, but it has a little bit more terracotta. To me, that resembles a little bit more terracotta. And here, I feel like I see a little bit of pink as well, at least in person. So let's swatch the deeper one. Ooh, I'm going to like this one for sure. So that's the deeper one. I prefer the deeper one, just looking at it and knowing my preference. I love that blush. They both look so amazing. Let me swatch the new Rose Ink blush because I feel like the tone may be similar. So I have Foxglove from Rose Ink. That's it right there. I kind of want to swatch it next to it. So there's that. I feel like it's kind of in between those. Yeah. I think the undertone is very, very similar. And the formula is different. It's completely different. But yeah, I knew it reminded me of that. Okay, next let's swatch the highlighter. This seems very intense. Oh, I really put way too much. So this is the one from the light. And it's very intense. I definitely used a bit too much. And this is the one from the deep. So this is where I think the deep one or the dark one wouldn't work for me, because that seems a little bit like it's gonna cast a shadow there. That blush is still there. But yeah, those are the highlighters. They seem super, super intense. It's the Star Glow highlighter. And it has, you know, I pressed a little bit too hard there, so it kind of moved some of that product, but no issues. Okay, let's start putting the blush on. So I'm going to use, this is a Real Techniques brush. I got it a very long time ago, but you can still find something similar to this. And I really like the way it applies this formula, at least from her last, the Bloom palette. I love the way this one works together. I do like that it has a really nice big mirror, and literally this is a mirror as well. It's very, very reflective. So I'm gonna put the color Light on this side. All I have on is my foundation, and I have a little bit of my cream, what is this? Butta Biscuit, just to give a little bit of shape to the face. I put very little on because I really want the blush to take over. I just really like this formula. I think it sits so well on the skin. It has a radiance to it. Oh, it's beautiful. I hope you guys can see how pretty it looks. It looks even better in person because it almost perfects your skin. And if you are familiar to her formula, the Bloom palette, it's the same. It has that creaminess, a little bit of a shine to it, like a radiance, but very smoothing on the skin. Oh, it looks very beautiful, and I love the color. I love the color. I'm gonna wipe my brush and use the same brush on the deeper side, and I'm more excited about this color than the other one. Usually this formula for her, it looks so intense, but once you apply it, hopefully, it's not like that crazy. It's very workable. So let's see. So on me, it's definitely a little bit more punchier. It's not as deep as maybe I thought it would be. It almost looks brighter, just a little bit more intense. I bet you could build it up and, you know, get a little bit more depth, but they both look really pretty. I actually think I like this one better on me. Just in person, I think this pulls a little bit more pink than I thought it would. And this works a little bit better on me. But it's still stunning, beautiful. They're both gorgeous, but you can definitely see a little bit the difference, that this is just a little bit deeper, just a little bit more bright, like more intense, and this is just a little softer. Okay, the highlighter scares me a little bit because I think that this one's gonna be pretty deep for me. So I'm gonna start with this one right here in the light one. I'm taking my Refer 20. I'm taking a little bit off just to make sure I'm not applying too much. And then oh wow. This is so intense. Wow. Okay, it's beautiful though. You know, I've never tried her nude highlighter. Wait, what's the name of it? It bothers me. It's I Need a Nude Glow. It was bothering me so bad. I've never tried that one, so I can't tell you if it's the same, but this is so beautiful. It's definitely intense, so go lightly, and you can definitely build it up, but oh, I'm liking that. Okay, let's see how this other one works. I just brushed this off, and I like the color. I really actually like the color. It's definitely a little bit intense, but I like the undertone. It's not like, if I can look straight, it doesn't look weird. So let's try the darker one. This could be a mistake. Okay, okay. Okay, this is not as bad. I can definitely make this work. Actually, I think it's really pretty. Let's see, straight ahead. I don't think it gives me a shadow there. I think it's really pretty. Wow, I didn't think that this one would work for me. I actually probably prefer this a little bit just because this is so light and it's a little bit more intense, and this, it still gives you that glow, but because the color is a little bit more like my skin, it's not quite as intense. I actually really like that one. I think it's a little more intense and this is just a little softer. But I will say that it does emphasize texture a little bit. So right here, I can definitely see my texture a little bit. So if you suffer with a lot of texture, this is bright, and I think this will emphasize the texture a little bit. It's not anything crazy, but when I look from the side, I can see like my bumps that I have there. More on this side than on this side. I wonder if I went a little too heavy-handed on that side. I'm actually going to combine them. Put a little bit of the dark one here just to tone this down. And then I'm going to put a dot of the light one, wait, on this side. Yeah. My nose. Wow, I really haven't tried her highlighter formula. I only tried it in, again, the Bloom palette, and I also have her big one, like the 6-pan. And this one, I mean, this was intense too, but not like this. This is something different. I think this is a little bit smoother than what I have here. This seemed a little bit chunkier, but I like this a lot. All right, let's move on to the eyeshadows. Let's start with the deep one. I'm gonna swatch them. That's really pretty. All right, so those are the swatches for the deep one, and I'm loving this so much. That shade right there is why I bought this palette. It's so beautiful. So these are the swatches for the lighter one. The matte seemed a little patchier, but it's because my hand was wet because I had to wipe it off and I couldn't wait for it to dry. So these are the swatches. They're really pretty. Like the shimmers are really intense. They're beautiful, like good creamy mattes. I'm excited. I think this is the cream to matte formula. It said CM here, which is, I assume that it's the cream to matte formula. And let me see in the pan. Yeah, even in the pan, it like you can tell if it's a creamy matte formula. All right, I'm gonna start with the light one. So here you see it says like inner corner, transition, crease, outer corner, and smoke. So we're just gonna maybe follow that. We're just gonna play with it. All right, I'm gonna take transition and just put it in my crease. Then I will take the color crease and put it in my crease. Just intensify this a little bit more. These colors are really pretty. I like the undertone of the browns. They're not too cool tone. They're not too warm. I feel like they're a good neutral color. I'm going to take the color Crease under my lash line as well. That's blending in super nicely. It's a good color to have. And then let's do the color Outer Corner. I'm just gonna add that kind of all over. This is crumbly, so be careful. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, that color is stunning. Whew. And then in the inner corner, should I take, oh, I might take my pinky and add a little bit here. Those are so intense. Let me take a brush, make sure it's clean. I'm gonna pack that in the inner corner. This is a beautiful color. You could definitely put it in the center or all over the lid. It's a very pigmented, it's a beautiful, beautiful shade. All right, those two shimmers are super intense, a little bit crumbly, but I don't have fallout, so that's great. Okay, let's do the color Smoke and just smoke it out a little bit. I think I'm gonna do the outer corner. I'm gonna take on the same Wayne Goss brush. This is the color, the brush 19. And I'm just smoking this out. That color is the one that impressed me probably the most because it blended in so well, so fast, and it just took the level, the look to the next level, just a little bit more punchy, which is nice you have that color because you could definitely take this look from daytime to nighttime with that shade. It's super pretty. All right, I'm gonna clean this up, put mascara on, and I'll show you the finished look. Everything is on, and I am loving this look. I think it's beautiful. I love the undertones of these colors. I think they're so neutral and beautiful. This one, the color Transition, has a little bit of a pink undertone, slightly, but it's still a neutral pink, which is great for transition. The shimmers are super intense, like the metallics, they're intense, a little crumbly, but I didn't find that I had a lot of struggles with fallout. So I am loving this. It's beautiful, and you can definitely make it simpler and more intense. Okay, let's move on to the dark palette. This is definitely deeper. I know every transition will be pretty intense for me, so it's gonna be a smoky eye. Okay, let's take the color Transition on this fluffy brush. I will pat on my hand just a little bit. Let me fix this, and I'm gonna go right here. Look how smooth and blended that is. That is a beautiful shade. I'm gonna take again the Wayne Goss number 19, and then I'm gonna take the color Crease, tap it because I know it's a lot, and I'm just gonna intensify that just a little bit more. And then I'm gonna take the fluffy brush with nothing else on it and blend those in together. That just gave me a little bit more definition, and it kind of lifted my eye a little bit because I'm trying to fake like my crease is a little bit higher than it really is. Both are really nice. Okay, so this is the shade Outer Corner, and then the Inner Corner. Well, this is the one that I want to use all over, but for the sake of trying both of them, I will put this one in the outer corner, kind of on that area. So I will take my finger and place this in this outer area. See, it's very deep on me. I expected this. This almost gives me the depth that I was thinking of getting from the color Smoke. I will blend this in a little bit. That became smoky pretty fast. All right, I will put the color Inner Corner kind of all over. Ooh, that color is something. Wow. I'm gonna take Transition and go on the lower lash line. And then I will take the color where I need a different brush. This one. This is, I don't know what this is, super small, old. Woo. The color Smoke. Pretty much use this as my liner. That's a beautiful color as well. The color Smoke is really pretty, really intense, but I kind of think I'm going to keep it here. I don't think I want to smoke the eye look more. I'm just going to keep that color just as pretty much my line. But oh, that color is so pretty. All right, let me put some mascara on and I'll show you the finished look. All right, guys, this is the finished look and I am loving it so much. I actually prefer the deeper one over this one. I think it's just that color that's called Inner Corner. I think it's just so unique and it gets me excited. And I also like this color right here called Transition. I think that one is really beautiful and I like the undertone as well, but you can definitely see the difference in the palettes, mostly in the shadow area. I think that's where you see it so much stronger. The cheeks, I feel like they're good. Like the highlighter is definitely deeper. The blush worked on me. I wouldn't say that it's like extremely different. It's just a little deeper and brighter. But the eye look, that's where like you can get a lot of depth with the dark one. And obviously this is pretty nice and bright and elegant. And this is a little bit darker, a little bit more mysterious. All right, guys, let's talk about these palettes. Do I love them? I absolutely love them so much. I think they are so unique to Natasha Denona, the concept. I love that you have blush, highlighter, and 5 shadows. And with these 5 shadows, at least let's take the deep one, for instance. Like this is definitely, could be an all over lid. This could be an all over lid. You could do more of a brownie. This has a little bit of pinkish undertone, more of that just browny, goldy, pinky, burgundy color. So you could definitely pair and get a few different eye looks. Like obviously you can't get too many, but you can get more than just one. Like this one and this one would work so well together, just this one and this one. Just overall, I think those are such beautiful tones. Now with this light one, I think the shimmers are too similar to where you could make completely different looks like this one. When you swatch them, they look quite different, but on the eye, I felt like they meshed in really well. It gives you a beautiful transition from super light to that peachy color. And it's really, really beautiful. I guess it's peachy goldy color. I see some peach in there. But I would say that you can't get two completely different looks with those shimmers. It's similar. But it's still such a beautiful palette. You can definitely smoke it out a little bit or stay within this area right here for a day look, and then you can go deeper here. So I really, really enjoy them. The blushes are so beautiful. Actually, they're both amazing. Now that it had time to sit, honestly, I feel like they're very similar. Like I thought I would like this blush so much more, but on the cheeks, I feel like they perform pretty similarly. What do you guys think? Definitely there's a little bit more depth to this one, but not enough to where I would say, wow, you need both blushes. I think they're similar. The highlighters is definitely different. This light one is super bright. This one is a little bit more toned down for my skin tone. Obviously, if you're deeper, it's gonna really show. And if you're deeper, do not go for this one. It'll look off. I absolutely love them. I think the quality is amazing. The mattes blended incredibly. The shimmers were intense and pigmented. She knocked it out of the park. I love these. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.